Hey gang, I'm Mike, and this is Finally Garage. I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about my plans for this 67 GTO. I know I kind of jumped in and just started doing work on it. I was jonesing just to get my hands into it, but I haven't really discussed, where I'm going with it. So let's do that. So in 1967, there were 3 models of GTO built, and so there were, got the numbers here, there were just over 65,000 hard tops made. There were around 9,500 convertibles made, and just over 7,000 sport coupes made. And this is a 1967 GTO Sport Coupe. And sometimes you'll hear it referred to as a post. And the reason why is because it has this pillar built in, right? And that's what they refer to as a post. And, it also has a frame around the door, for the window. There's pros and cons to having a post car. This, pillar here is, tightly tied into the structure of the car, and so it makes for a very solid car. Reduced twisting and whatnot. So for me, one of the things I like about the hardtop versus this guy is that when the windows are down, you get this really neat, sleek look because this whole side is open. In this case, it's not. So I paid $6,500 for this car. It was in northern Nevada. Rented a trailer and a truck and went up and hauled it down. It's been well over a year ago. So as you can see, the car did come with an engine. The Pontiac 400. It is the correct year based on the numbers. But it is not a matching engine, and that makes a big difference. Because if this were a matching numbers engine, then I would have more concern about really restoring the car to its original state. So first I should explain that in 67 and earlier, there isn't really a number on the engine that matches, say, the VIN number on the car. So you either have to get a history report on the car, or in this case, I can tell you right off that this is 1967 400, but it was for an automatic vehicle, automatic transmission, and this car was originally a 3-speed transmission. So I know this isn't the numbers matching or even the a correct engine for the vehicle. So that really strongly informs what I'm going to do as far as the restoration. FYI, I also got the heads, and as you can see, those are 670 series heads, and that's good news because those are closed chamber heads, which we'll discuss more later, but basically higher compression ratio, better performance, or you can certainly use them to make better performance. And the intake manifold is over there as well, stock intake manifold. So this car was originally based on the car history report that I also got when I bought the car, which was nice. This is a really sort of base model car. Came with the base engine, 3-speed manual transmission, It has drum brakes on the front and rear, no power steering, no air, manual brakes, that kind of stuff. So my goal is to make the vehicle period correct. And period correct means that the parts, the build on the car are all correct for the time when the car was built. But not a restoration right down to every nut and bolt of how the vehicle was originally. So I'm going to be doing things like OEM, original equipment, power steering, original equipment power brakes, original equipment disc brakes, and the drivetrain. I'm going to rebuild the engine as a high output version, which was an option, in that year, and that has a few differences, different cam, different exhaust manifolds, maybe different carburetor, some different pieces to make it a little more performant. I think it gets it maybe 25 more horsepower. And then 4-speed manual transmission, the original Muncie M20 or M21. And then I haven't even looked at the rear end, but assuming that it is not Positraction, Positrack rear end, then I'm going to probably look at what it would take to put the Positrack rear end. Basically build the high output car. There were sort of several different options in 67. There was the standard sort of option engine. There was the high output HO engine. And then there was a ram air option. And honestly, I can't remember if that was a factory or an add-on solution. I'm not going to go all the way to a ram air. The ram air basically has an air filter that connects to the hood, and the scoops on the hood are open, whereas they're not necessarily on the other models. And then the air that was forced down went straight into the carburetor. Probably it won't go that far. Otherwise, the original color on the car is Tyrol blue exterior, which you can kind of see here, that color, and parchment interior, which is basically like an off-white ivory color. And I'm going to maintain those colors. I like them. I think the blue is kind of cool, and I do have some, there's a possibility that some of the interior that I pulled out, like visors or the little clips to hang clothes hanger hit clips or some other pieces like that I pulled out from the interior might be reusable. So yeah, that's the goal. So I think that pretty much sums up at least the direction of what I'm going to take on the vehicle. The restoration, of course, it's going to take quite a bit of time, and I may change my mind along the way. I always welcome feedback, especially if it's feedback that helps me accomplish my goal. Sometimes the feedback is, dude, why don't you drop an LS engine in there? Or, dude, why don't you change the color? These are things that I've already made up my mind about, and advice to change direction completely on the project, while I appreciate the intentions, is probably not really very valuable to me. But yeah, but otherwise, advice from people who have experience is greatly appreciated. So I think that's it for this video. Just a hopefully short and sweet, and get back to pulling out some more of this dash and get that video out to you guys soon. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you want to see more of this kind of stuff, subscribe. If you want to help my channel, like, the whole gig. So thanks again.